with the red button on BBC television as well. And if you are out and about, don't forget the live text service, which is always very, very popular for such days as this, for the FA Cup final. The 138th FA Cup final, as we wait for our referee, Kevin Friend. Took place of a showpiece final 6 years ago, the League Cup final, when Swansea City beat Bradford City on that particular afternoon. But this is the FA Cup final. It still retains a special place in the English calendar, and it will be a special day for whoever wins the 138th Cup final. Watford for the first time in their history, or Manchester City, the Premier League champions, who are looking for an unprecedented domestic treble. Manchester City are playing from left to right as we look, as Laporte will bring the ball over the halfway line and finds Sterling, and Sterling is able to turn and carries the ball to the edge of the area, and Zinchenko's first time cross is blocked at source, and it goes behind for an early Manchester City corner. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, it was interesting there just to watch Sterling just go alongside Jesus there, finding that little pocket in front of the defenders behind the midfield players. That's going to be an important part today for City.
They're attacking the end where the Watford fans are housed, with the yellow balloons being knocked around aplenty. As in comes the ball, and from that corner it's headed out by Holebas, volleyed back in by Kyle Walker. Looked like Jesus was maybe in an offside position. Counter-attack for Watford. De La Feo tries to get it through to Pereira, but it was stopped on the cover with Zinchenko. That's what, of course, that quick transition, Chris Waddle, is something that
Watford's got to do well out there. They cleared the corner, there a bit of luck, but De La Feo just wasted that pass there. It was 3-on-2 if he used the ball a little bit better.
So the balloons are being knocked around in the Watford end. The flags, the yellow flags, are still flying. David Gracia, the manager in his suit, watching on in the technical area. Typical casual look from Pep Guardiola, with the charcoal grey sweatshirt and the dark trousers. Again, arms folded as Manchester City come forward. Sterling lays the ball back and given away by Gundogan. And now it's with Pereira, plays it forward to Capoue, runs towards the right side on the halfway line. Kiko offers some support with the width and gives the ball away, but it's quickly won back. And there is Will Hughes with his shock of blonde hair to tidy up in the midfield. Holebas now on this near side, the left back, and then it's back with Cathcart. The Northern Ireland international strikes the ball long, and Company gets the shout, and through towards Ederson it goes. Ederson, who yesterday was one of 3 Manchester City players named in the Brazilian squad for the Copa America. As Manchester City again, Laporte, unchallenged, is able to bring the ball towards the halfway line and rolls it out towards Sterling. On that far side, the left, Zinchenko goes on the overlap. Sterling doesn't require him. Goes it alone and then runs into Kiko, and the Watford right back pushes the ball out of play, goes out for a throw that Manchester City will take quickly. Gundogan turns, every outfield player is in the Watford half. Vincent Kompany forward of the centre circle. Kyle Walker now out to Mahrez on this right touchline. Mahrez looks up, plays the ball back inside. Kyle Walker, the right back, pushed infield. Laporte's going to shoot from distance and off his left foot, always on the rise, Dion.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to get some tips on his captain there from shooting from 30 yards. Have a word with Vinny Kompany. Didn't catch that one at all, Laporte. But I'm just looking at Watford and thinking, is that the tactic they're going to go with? Are they going to just drop off when City get the ball? As soon as City got the ball, Watford went straight back into a 4-5-1. They're going to allow City to have the ball. They cannot do that all game and allow City to have all this time on the ball to pick passes. They will score.
Andrew, you've been known to score a few goals from long range in your time, Chris Waddle.
Well, at the minute, Watford are playing a 4-5-1, but they're not putting any pressure on the ball, are they? So City's coming in. It's strange, really, because I know he's got Mahrez in the team today, and he's probably did the same thing with him about FA Cup appearances, but I mean, Bernardo Silva's been outstanding on this right-hand side, and he's put him actually as where De Bruyne plays in 3 in the midfield, so I'm surprised.
Watford on the attack, near side the left with Pereira, level with the penalty area. It's 0-0 in this FA Cup final, the 2019 FA Cup final, brought to you on the BBC, the World Service and 5 Live. Decore plays a low ball in, headed down by Silva, David Silva, picked up by Jesus midway through his own half, and then he turns and Kyle Walker plays a diagonal ball to Gundogan. There is, remember, no Fernandinho at all in the matchday squad for Manchester City. Zinchenko now over on that left-hand side. He's got a very good record this season domestically. When he started, they've won all 23 domestic games that he's played in, Zinchenko. So he certainly has that winning formula when he's appeared for Manchester City as a stand-in left-back, as the ball then is stroked by Walker to Mahrez on the right-hand side. Mahrez again shown on the inside by Holebas. Walker back out towards Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side, edges his way towards the penalty area, twists one way and then plays it back out of the penalty area to Walker. Watford have everybody back, they're on the back foot. Where's the delivery? In it comes now from Mahrez, and then it's Gomez who gathers the ball in.
I think City are going to be enjoying this. City at the moment, having no pressure on the ball. They've got too many good players in order to allow them to have so much play. Watford are just retreating, allowing City to come out. I thought they might have tried the high press early on to see how it went and then fall back, but the plan's obviously to allow City to have it and try and frustrate them.
I think they're going to get a lot of joy down the straight. Kyle Walker loves to join in, and Bernardo Silva's natural thing is to come to the right hand side with Mahrez.
Kiko is forward, Cross takes a deflection, loops up in the penalty area, drops inside the 6-yard area. All in green is Ederson. Quick throw out, underarm, didn't do Bernardo Silva any favours. Kyle Walker though will win. Then comes the press from Watford, but the referee Kevin Friend has blown his whistle, and that will be a free kick to Manchester City. It's 0-0 in this FA Cup final. We've been playing for just over 6 minutes between Manchester City and Watford. Yeah,
it's interesting to see Troy Deeney go up. He's been up 2 or 3 times now. He's flicked on a couple of headers. One he beat Company, the other one he beat Kyle Walker, and he has got players running in behind him, so maybe that's the ploy. Maybe they get it up to Troy and get players in behind.
Mahrez on the right hand side up against Holebas, plays a diagonal ball. Bernardo Silva has made the run with the cutback. It went past Gomez and it was looking towards Jesus inside the 6-yard area.
What a great run, and who's tracking him? That's terrible mark, and there's not enough communication, and they're going deeper and deeper here when City's coming over the halfway line. Watford, the whole team's 30 yards away from the goal. They've got to squeeze the high a little bit higher, put a bit more pressure on the ball.
They're inviting Manchester City to come onto them, and Manchester City need no such invitation. We've all seen how Manchester City have played this season as Mahrez. Then ball floated forward by Laporte looking for the run of Sterling. It's lifted behind and then actually it's swatted away by Gomez. Did ever so well to keep that ball in play as he ran down the byline and got something on it with his right fist. Decked out all in red, the Brazilian. Could well be his last appearance for Watford. 99% sure he said he was going to retire to be a pastor or a football agent, although they're still hoping to try and convince him for a late change of heart. But that's the reason why he's playing today. Been playing throughout this FA Cup campaign, but Manchester City are dominating and looking to try and soak that pressure and contain Manchester City at Watford. At the minute they can't get out of the final third. They're being forced back.
It's difficult. City's got everybody pushed right in there. They're really hounding them. They've got no outball because, as many teams do against Man City, I'd never get why they don't just leave one high, because one clearance you're in. Why do you want to bring 11 players behind it? You can't get out.
David Silva tries to thread it through to Raheem Sterling, but you'd have to say, Dion, in these opening 8 minutes, it's a little bit ominous.
It is, and I can't see why you would want to start an FA Cup final like this. Like Chris has just said, they're going back into a 4-5-1, but Troy Deeney is the highest player, and he is halfway inside his own half. When you get it back, what do? You have got to get players up there quickly, but if nobody there to hold it up, you are going to be struggling. They've got to have more of a positive attitude here.
Manchester City, by the way, have scored a record 163 goals in their 60 matches this season. They have failed to score on only 4 occasions in those 60. However, 3 of them have been in the capital, as Zinchenko motors forward over on that far side for the sky blue of Manchester City. Over the halfway line, inside, helped on by David Silva. Laporte, hard to think that he's been overlooked by Didier Deschamps. He's been terrific, Laporte, for Manchester City, as now it's with Mahrez, who decides to attack. There's the step over into the penalty area, low ball in. Holebas hasn't dealt with it. Mahrez keeps it alive, goes behind for a corner kick to Manchester City.
They look very nervous, actually, Watford. I know we're talking about what they should do and shouldn't do, but if you look at them as a team, they've not relaxed at all since the kick-off, and it's going to take them a while, and that's where City really should capitalise on it.
10 minutes played, corner kick to Manchester City. They're attacking from left to right. It's on this near side for Manchester City. In it comes now the corner kick. Downward header and an attacking header by Deeney to try and clear the lines. Watford have everybody back. Comes to Zinchenko, waits, can't get Sterling away. Interception from Kiko. Ball then played forward by Doucouré. Deulofeu, man over is Pereira. Pereira now outside the penalty area. Pereira, Ederson was quickly off his goal line. Great anticipation by the Brazilian goalkeeper, because no sooner had Pereira looked up, he had the onrushing Manchester City keeper to thwart him.
Yeah, that's why they paid the money for Ederson. That's why he is as good as he is. His starting position was absolutely spot on. Watford sprung the trap, and he was 18 yards out. I think the keeper must have done 20 yards in 3 seconds. It was incredible pace from Ederson. Sprawled himself, and Pereira had nowhere to go.
I think you said earlier, Ian, Pereira hadn't scored this year, has he? And it showed there he had no belief in what an opportunity. You're not going to get many today. You take that, and I've got to say, he should score. At this level of football, he should score. 16
games without a goal. His last was on Boxing Day, so yet to register in 2019. When those chances come along against Manchester City, you've got to take them. It's 0-0. It's the FA Cup final. It's live on the BBC. World Service and 5 Live here at Wembley. We've been playing for just over 11 minutes. Mahrez controls the ball and kills it dead with his left foot. Now he's on the attack. Right corner of the penalty area. Bernardo Silva shoots low, and Gomez, in the end, a comfortable save. Deal.
Yeah, it's a nice little switch over to Mahrez, and Mahrez there looking like he's going to take the defender on. He gets doubled up. I think it's Doucouré comes over to help his fullback. Therefore, there's a spare player for City. It's Bernardo Silva. He gives the ball to him and he gets the shot off, but they're always looking for that extra man.
Long ball downfield by Gomez. Stabbed out towards this near side by Kompany to Mahrez midway through his own half. Still goalless. In the Women's Champions League final, by the way, Lyon have taken the lead after 5 minutes. They lead Barcelona by 1-0. England's Lucy Bronze, of course, plays for Lyon. Tony Duggan for Barcelona. Lyon are aiming for their 4th straight title, and a reminder, the Women's World Cup in the summer, unrivaled coverage on the BBC. Zinchenko with a cross on the left-hand side, and Holebas tucked in the left back, clears, headed away by Hughes, but once again Watford being pinned back by Manchester City.
Yeah, it's just, you know, when you have this much ball, it's only a matter of time that you're going to get strikes on goal or efforts on goal. Watford have got to try something else. The City will be loving this, absolutely loving it.
Kompany, midway through the Watford half, finds Bernardo Silva, runs towards the penalty area, then lays it off to Mahrez, coming in off the right touchline. Mahrez, left-footed, in-swinging ball, headed up and away by Watford, and Cathcart, the Northern Ireland international, headed further away by Deeney, but Kyle Walker will get there before Doucouré, and it's going to keep on coming back. Well,
they're giving him too much time on the ball, especially Mahrez. Bernardo Silva's coming out, he's causing a problem. Pereira's not helping the fullback at all. He's just tucked right inside. He doesn't need to go in there. He needs to be out here, look. And this is where they're getting all the joy down this right-hand side.
Mahrez, once again on the Manchester City right, the near side as we look. They're playing from left to right. Bernardo Silva with the cross, headed away by Cathcart as he backpedaled towards the edge of his 6-yard area. Pereira then leaves it back. Doucouré plays it forward. Deeney with a layoff to Deulofeu. Advantage has been played by referee Kevin Friend. Deulofeu, now the referee pulls it back. Deeney was caught.
The referee's unlucky. It's a foul on Deeney. He stayed down. Deulofeu looked like he was losing possession, so he's brought the game back on, and he came out with the ball, but the referee, obviously, like we did, thought he was going to lose it. So he's being unlucky there, referee. I don't know why they're doing it.
I think because City play such a wide game, what I mean by that is they push their fullbacks on at every single opportunity. They are that far forward, Zinchenko and Walker, that they are level with the centre forward, their centre forward. So they've got all this space to play with. That means that the Watford back 5 have to stay back.
So it's a Watford free kick, left of the centre circle, just inside their own half. It's taken now by Cathcart, right-footed, long, drops inside the Manchester City penalty area, and then volleyed away by Zinchenko, the Ukrainian international, downfield. headed back by Watford. Hughes looking to win the ball in the midfield, then gives it away. Bernardo Silva looks to release Jesus. Jesus then slips. Mariappa holds him up. Kiko comes back to help out and clears for Watford, much to the delight of the applauding Watford supporters, who the yellow is the predominant colour away towards our right, although my eyes were drawn to something yellow in the City end, the sky blue away to our left, and of course it was a yellow inflatable banana. I remember when they were very much in vogue. I remember Grimsby Town in an FA Cup tie going to Plough Lane with the inflatable haddocks all those years ago, and somebody has brought that inflatable banana for Manchester City in the end away to our left. But our eyes are fixed to the right as Manchester City attack. Zinchenko to Walker. Mahrez, level with the penalty area. Mahrez waits, does a little step over. Holebas shows him on the outside. Holebas stands tall, comes off the legs of Holebas, and it goes out of play for a Manchester City corner kick.
Yeah, it's okay to do this, it's okay to stay organised, but coming down this right-hand side with Bernardo Silva and Mahrez, they're either going to get a cross in the box or they're going to get a corner, which, to me, senses danger.
The noise is from the Watford support as Manchester City with Mahrez go deep with a corner kick. Gomez has lost it. On hand was Decore to prod the ball away. Manchester City get it back once again with Raheem Sterling. He passes the ball back to Zinchenko. This is Watford's 8th visit to Wembley. For Manchester City, well, it's their 7th trip to Wembley just in the last 2 seasons alone. As Mahrez enters the penalty area, drills it in low, cleared away by Capoue, stopped by De La Feu, tracks back and doubles back into his own penalty area, and Watford keep hold of the ball. Holebas is going to clear long, looks to try and pick out Deeney. Didn't get past Mahrez, who heads it back forward for Manchester City, who are dominating, but it's still 0-0. 17 minutes played. Kyle Walker to Laporte. Every outfield player is in the Watford half, away towards our right-hand side. Don't forget, we're also on the red button on your television. The commentary from the radio will be synced with the pictures on BBC One. As Walker now to Mahrez. Mahrez, edge of the area, left-footed cross, and that's going to drift and drop behind for a corner kick, for a goal kick, rather.
Well, Mahrez is getting all the joy, and he's wasted this time. He's looked sharp, he's looked lively, but no end product at the minute. But they've just looked 73% nearly City's got.
There's only so many times you can clear the ball like that. Only so many times you can be in the line.
Yeah, one's going to fall.
Dion Dublin and Chris Waddle, 2 former England internationals who are with us here for BBC Radio 5 Live as Gomez waits to take the goal kick, and he puts his right foot through that and strikes it long. Deeney looks to get on the end of it, goes over the head of Deeney, brought under control by Decore, plays it forward now to Pereira on this left-hand side up against Kyle Walker. Pereira, who had that chance on the counter-attack for Watford, but Edison quickly off his goal line denied him. Kiko now just forward of the centre circle, goes back, Mariappa to his fellow centre-back, Cathcart just short of the halfway line, floats it forward. Pereira loses out to Kyle Walker, looking for a free kick, saying he was pushed. Kiko with the interception, turns and plays it back. The applause for every time that Watford stop Manchester City is from the Watford supporters away towards our right-hand side. Gundogan, little short ball, and Mahrez has inexplicably put the ball out of play for a throw. So Watford now will just take their time. They've had to contain Manchester City for the best part of these opening 18 minutes. They, by and large, have been firmly on the back foot. But now they've got an opportunity, as the exuberance and enthusiasm really does come through from the Watford supporters, jumping up and down in the yellow and black away to our right-hand side. Long throw into the penalty area, aimed towards Deeney, dealt with by Company, and then turned and cleared away by Bernardo Silva. Kiko wins it back. Capoue, Cathcart. Almost every outfield player now is in the Manchester City half, away towards our left-hand side, as Bernardo Silva charges down Cathcart, and it goes out of play for a throw. The 19 minutes of whistle by.
Yeah, when they do get the ball as well, Watford, they look okay. I think they're passing it quite well. You know, they look quite confident. It's just getting the ball back. When they do get it, they've got to use it better. Every opportunity now, I believe they're going to throw it into the box, and there you go. Commentators curse. They went short.
Lyon now lead Barcelona 2-0 in the Champions League, the Women's Champions League final. We've still got so much live football to bring you on BBC Radio 5 Live. We've got the Europa League final in Baku. We have the Champions League final where we'll be live in Madrid. And then it's to Portugal, to Porto and Guimarães for the UEFA Nations League, where England, of course, have reached the last four, and Gareth Southgate is here watching on with his assistant Steve Holland, as you'd expect.
Watford have just started coming to the game. City's bright start, as we expect, confidence full of. Watford shown a little bit, obviously shown them a lot of respect, rightly so, but now they've just started to get the foot on the ball and they've passed it around a little bit. They've started to look a little bit of a threat.
I'll tell you who, a lot of the attack, as Chris has been saying, Dion, has been coming down this near side, the right. Not too much for Raheem Sterling so far.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that he's actually stayed as wide as he has, because he normally likes to get involved. He has made a couple of runs, to be fair, down the left, and he hasn't been found, or the pass has been short. But yeah, you're right, everything's down Mahrez's side and Kyle Walker's side at the moment.
Sterling's just lost the ball. It's played forward then by Hughes.
I've got to say, in the full-back, he's got the measure of Sterling. He's tried to go past him 3 times and he's took it off him 3 times.
Kiko Firmino, the Spanish right back, as Watford now come into the Manchester City half. And it's Deulofeu, made such an impact off the bench against Wolves in the semi-final. Hughes plays it forward, cut out by Walker, comes back to Pereira. Pereira looks to turn. Deulofeu is there. Chance for Watford. Charge down. They're appealing for handball. Kevin Prince says no. We will have VAR, by the way, so that will be looked at by the VAR official, who's Andre Mariner. And now a yellow card is being shown. I think that was to Decore.
The Watford players were incensed, the Watford players. We haven't seen a replay as yet. Great play from Watford, though, moving the ball so well. I think it was Pereira that slipped just as he was just about to strike the ball. Just seeing the replay, it was the hand of Vincent Kompany, if there was a hand in there.
Well, he turned his back on it and his elbow was raised as he's gone to protect his face. It might have struck his elbow, and this is where, had it been a UEFA Cup tie or a UEFA Cup competition, it might have been given, but that was no way deliberate handball.
The only thing is, you'd say that the shot was on target, it was going towards the goal, so that's the only thing you can say about it.
Mahrez at the other end, 0-0. 5 Live in the World Service from the BBC. Mahrez is able to turn, lays it out to Jesus, near side the right, just outside the penalty area, does the step over, enters the Watford box, down by the byline, tries to scoot the ball towards the far post. Gomez there. Sterling was also trying to hook it in as the referee has blown his whistle. There was a foul there, as Gomez really was struggling to try and collect that ball at the far post.
I can't believe that the referees give a free kick there. The ball's gone to the far post. It's Gomez and Kiko that are going for it, and Sterling's the only City player that's challenging for it. I can't believe that Sterling's out-muscled those two players.
It's not a free kick at all, is it? He's just jumped, he stood his ground, he's jumped. Gomez is all over the place, by the way. Should have had an S on his t-shirt.
Chris Waddle, Dion Dublin, and now our correspondent John Murray to take you through to half-time.
Thanks, Ian. I think Watford will feel that they've been due one of those since 1984, a decision in favour of their goalkeeper wearing all red after Steve Sherwood in their previous FA Cup final. So Manchester City 0, Watford 0 in the 2019 FA Cup final. So we're into the second quarter of the match, still waiting for the opening goal. But what about that for a penalty shout for Watford? A shot from Doucouré with Kompany's arm raised next to his head. I think Ian's absolutely right. In a UEFA match this season under VAR, I suspect that would have been given as a penalty. And even though City have had all of this possession, Watford have had the best chances. Certainly the early one for Pereira that was very well saved by Ederson. City, sky blue shirts, playing from left to right, towards the end that's housing all of the Watford supporters in the west side. Here's Laporte playing it through into the penalty area for Gabriel Jesus. If you've not heard, Aguero's only on the bench, so is De Bruyne. Zinchenko playing it towards Sterling, who throughout the match so far, the first 23 minutes, Sterling has played on the left and Mahrez on the right. And here is Sterling. Sterling in the white boots just slips the ball to his right, forward of the centre circle. Walker now hits the pass low to Mahrez, who cuts in field 30 yards from goal, but all yellow and black in front of him, and he goes back to the captain, Vincent Kompany. Now Walker, a touch on the edge of the penalty area from Mahrez. That's cleared away by Cathcart. Bernardo Silva plays it across. A control and shot on the turn from Gabriel Jesus that took a deflection, which carried it high and wide and behind for another Manchester City corner. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, they look quite regimented. It's a word that I wouldn't use with City, but today they look quite regimented. Sterling stayed out wide left, Mahrez has stayed out wide right. They haven't really interchanged like they normally do, and I thought that would be the problem Watford had, the movement of the front five, and they haven't done it today. Corner taken short this time by Manchester City, comes back to Zinchenko, works it into the box, takes a Watford deflection which runs right across the penalty area, and Doucouré hits a long one downfield. Ederson is out an absolute distance out of his penalty area. He was more than halfway to the halfway line. However, he made it, won the header, nodded it down, and Manchester City were off on their next attack. But it is won back by Watford. But Doucouré is under pressure. Bernardo Silva wins it back. Now here's Sterling centrally. Sterling shoots on the edge of the D. That was challenged and blocked on the edge of the box by Mariappa. Bounces across the area to David Silva, who scores left-footed. He didn't catch it cleanly. It took a bounce on the way from the angle into the back of the net. But Manchester City have scored first in the cup final. And they celebrate in front of the motionless Watford fans in the stands. And that is their first step here today at Wembley towards the completion of the domestic treble. Manchester City leading Watford by 1-0.
I've got to say, I thought Watford had weathered the storm. I thought City all over them at the start, and you thought, where's the goal coming? And just as Watford played themselves into the game, yes, could have had a pen, but the referee didn't give that. Anyway, all of a sudden you think, well, they're all right, they're in the game. And Doucouré gets caught in possession terribly, and he can't do it against a quality side. David Silva, I'll probably say, I haven't hit it as sweet as I wanted. Slight deflection. Gomez, no chance. Nestles in the bottom corner. It's 1-0 now. Watford now will relax them and think we've got nothing to lose, let's go for it.
They've got to do something now. They do need to change the way that they've played the majority of the first half. To the smallest players on the pitch, bullying Watford players, Sterling and David Silva. I never thought I'd say that, but that was for me. Sterling coming off the left wing and getting involved in the play. Good play by City, good finish by Silva, and I wasn't expecting City to score.
Chris Waddle and Dion Dublin with us in the 5 Live commentary box. 5 Live and the World Service bringing you the opening goal in the 2019 FA Cup final, scored by David Silva, which is his first goal of 2019. David Silva's first goal in 28 Manchester City appearances. Great timing. Sterling, corner of the penalty area. Oh, beats Capoue easily, left him on the ground. David Silva works it to Zinchenko. Zinchenko's cross flicks a Watford head at the near post, cleared away by Pereira on the edge of the box. Comes back again though. Gundogan hits a shot, plucked on the edge of the penalty area. Sterling was in. It took a deflection which carried it through and wide for another City corner.
Yeah, just the body language now. I'm watching the body language of Watford, and I'm thinking it looks like they've said, well, oh gosh, the inevitable's happened. We've got to go down. They've got to get back to where they were. Get back to being confident again, get in City's half, stay organised, they're still in the game, loads of time left.
Lyon are now winning 3-0 against Barcelona in the Women's Champions League final. Ada Hagerberg has scored the third one. Manchester City leading Watford by 1-0, and with a chance here from the corner, which is swung into the near post. Gomez comes, gets a fist to it, hooked it across the penalty area to Mahrez, who's now into the box. Mahrez curls it high from the angle, by a distance, 4 or 5 yards over the top into the Watford.
They've just got to regroup Watford now. Don't got to panic. It's not the end of the world. Listen, they've had a great chance. They nearly had a pen. They've had a great chance for me to score. They would have took the lead, but give City credit. I'd let maybe City, if they were going to adjust something, I'd put maybe Sterling in his free spot and put Mahrez on the left and bring Bernardo Silva out on this right wing where he's played most of the season, where he's been sensational. Mahrez is getting a lot of ball. He's not really showed any end product yet, but Watford now, listen, you've got nothing to lose. They should relax and say, look, let's go and play now. What we got to lose?
Manchester City leading Watford by 1-0, and one of the old stagers, David Silva, scoring the goal. Watford lose it on the edge of the Manchester City penalty area, but then Sterling likewise loses it. Hughes plays it to the left. Pereira, what a great chance that was that he had. as Ian Dennis said at the time, on this run without a goal. Just didn't look confident enough. Mind you, Ederson, the Manchester City goalkeeper, was typically confident as he came out and blocked it. Cheers from Watford, fouled by David Silva on Hughes in the centre circle, and it's a free kick to Watford. Should they have had a penalty, Watford, before the City went down the other end and scored?
I don't think the referee could give that. I think the hand of Vinny Company was so close to his chest that it's really difficult one to give.
Seeing them giving, all I say it was going in on the target. I don't know if it was going to go in the goal. It might have.
Watford free kick. Here it is from the centre circle, played into the penalty area, headed down, and it's taken down by Mahrez and cleared away downfield. Back to Watford. And here is Holebas, who turns and rolls it all the way back to Aurelio Gomez. Already beaten once in what might be his final match as a professional, the 38-year-old Watford goalkeeper. His final match, and what a special match to be playing in if that's the case. Watford into the centre circle. Deulofeu is beaten by David Silva. Now Gabriel Jesus to Sterling. Sterling's into the box on his right foot. David Silva, a flick from Sterling, and then an important interception or a tackle by Kiko Femenia, who took it away from David Silva. But it was opening up there, bright stuff, lovely, typical City stuff.
Yeah, it was one-on-one, Sterling against Mariappa. I'm thinking, take him on, do what you do. Be positive, get your shot off. Shake and bake, I like to call it. Go from left, go to the right, get your shot off. Didn't do it that time.
Shake and bake, Chris? Shake and bake?
First time I heard that.
Shake and vax, more your thing.
Well,
here's Gabriel Jesus through the middle. Cathcart here to the left-hand side to Holebas. Holebas last Sunday night probably thought he wouldn't be involved in this match, but won the appeal. Here's Doucouré on the left-hand side. Doucouré, Company came across though, just took the ball away from him, and Manchester City have got it back inside their own half. City, the Premier League champions, Carabao Cup winners here in February, and now in pole position to win the FA Cup as well. 3 domestic trophies in the same season. Watford, who've never won one. The ball's bounced out of play. Holebas is in discussions here with the assistant. And a point. Holebas is claiming that the ball wasn't over the line.
He's got a point now. He's saying it come off Mahrez, which it did, and that's why he's let the ball go out. And the linesman's give it to Man City.
Throw-in is given Manchester City's way. Holebas is still complaining about this. Troy Deeney is coming across as the Watford captain, standing, palms apart. Kevin Friend, I presume, has spoken with the assistant and is running away now, and it is a throw into Manchester City. A couple of City players in discussions on the edge of the area. Walker takes the throw, and Mahrez is going to play it all the way back towards the halfway line. City leading by 1-0. David Silva, the goal scorer, one of only 2 survivors from the team when Manchester City last won the FA Cup back in 2011. Zinchenko, square from him to Gundogan. Gundogan now to the edge of the box, tried to scoop it through into the area. Oh, important challenge, important block from Mariappa, who went with Gabriel Jesus in the box, and Watford were able to clear it downfield.
Yeah, last ditch challenge from Mariappa, just picking up these holes now, City. This is exactly how the game started. Watford getting behind the ball and City having all the play. I do believe Watford have still got a say in this game.
Zinchenko cutting in from the left-hand side. Challenge came in, but it was chipped away from him. And now David Silva to Mahrez, who miscontrolled it. That was unlike him. On the corner of the box. Walker into the area. Walker takes it round the outside of Pereira. Blocked off Pereira. Walker turns back towards the corner flag. And then a little poke out of play by Roberto Pereira for a throw-in to Manchester City, which is taken quickly by little Bernardo Silva down there on this side of the field, the City right. Here's Riyad Mahrez, scored the 3rd goal at Brighton last Sunday. Bernardo Silva into Gundogan on the edge of the area, works it through. Gomez on the stretch, but the offside flag goes up against Gabriel Jesus.
You just look at Watford at the minute, and they're all looking at each other as if to say, can we get a hold of this ball? It's all City, and if they get the second, I do fear the worst for Watford. I really do fear it could be a massive score.
They half need a bit of a time-out, don't they? As if to, a bit of a regroup, a huddle, just to say, listen, we're in the game, lads. We're 1 down, I know, but we're still in the game.
Well, listen, they're a lot better than what they've shown. I know that they look nervous. They've not really settled. They had a little spell before City scored where they looked at what they're capable of, but since City scored, they're all over the shop.
1-0 Manchester City lead. And even though City fell behind at Brighton last Sunday, if you were listening to us there, obviously came through strongly to win the game and win the title. And that's the only goal that City have conceded in their last 4 matches on their roll to the title. The defence recently has been a real strength, and this is the same defence. Gundogan in front of them, and here is the left back Zinchenko down the left wing, but then checks back, gives it back to the scorer of the only goal, David Silva. Then back into the centre circle to Laporte. Here's Vincent Kompany, another who might be playing his final match for his club. Vincent Kompany, we'll see about that. It'll be decided at the end of the season, but all of the indications would appear that that is the case. Here's Mahrez now to the area, but turns and gives it back to Walker. Puts his foot on the ball. Walker with a cross to the back post. Hughes got his head to it for Watford, and it bounces towards the corner flag and out for another set piece to Manchester City from the left, Dion Dublin.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating this for Watford. They've got good players, Pereira, Decore in there, Capoue as well, and they must be thinking, listen, we want to play, we want to squeeze high. I'm pretty sure if they're positive footballers, this way of playing is going to frustrate them. They can't get into the game.
1-0 Manchester City. Corner. It looks as though it will be swung into the near post this time. David Silva made himself available. But here is the high delivery towards the back post. Laporte heads it across, then it's nodded up and partly away, but chested down on the edge of the box. Gabriel Jesus hooks it back in. Kompany heads it down, hits the chest of Capoue, who's been able to scramble it away. Might well have struck the hand of Gabriel Jesus. The Watford fans think so. That's not given. I think it was on the blind side of the referee, but Manchester City actually go back towards the halfway line. Still in possession though, of course. David Silva scored his first goal since I saw him in the winter months in December at Southampton. Here in the spring at Wembley, left side of the penalty area, pulled it across left-footed. Here's Mahrez on the right. Mahrez cuts back, beats his man, ball across is blocked at the near post by the right leg of Cathcart. Out of play for a throw-in. Manchester City are easing their foot on the accelerator here. Mahrez rolls the ball infield, 35 yards out. Walker gives it square. Zinchenko sets himself up. The shot is deflected by Kiko Femenia, wide and high and away and behind for another City corner, number 7.
You know what? We talk about good City, or how good are they, by the way, because Watford just can't get within 10 yards of them. They're just playing the ball around them. Watford are all over the shop, and we say Watford are good, which they are. How good are City?
Corner taken short, then it's in. Deeney is there to head the ball out of play for corner number 8 for Manchester City, with just under 10 minutes to go to half-time. The Watford supporters, and this is all happening at their end of the ground, I think it is probably the case that they are just hoping that City don't score again.
I think they'd rather it didn't.
Yes. Gundogan taps the top of his head. I don't know if that's a signal. Chips it into the near post, but Capoue was there to leap and unchallenged headed away for Watford. David Silva, lovely flick to Gundogan on the left-hand side. David Silva's available. Gundogan uses David Silva. Now back to Gundogan. Capoue in with a challenge. The ball bounced back across the penalty area, but was cleared away by the falling Kiko Femenia. And then David Silva is battered into there as the two of them challenged for the ball by Deulofeu, but he's okay, withstood that. And now Bernardo Silva are curling a ball into the penalty area. Gomez, it's hooked back across, it's in! It's 2-0 to Manchester City. Gabriel Jesus was able to pull it across. Whether the ball bounced over the line before Sterling got there to make absolutely sure, I'm not sure. But what I am sure about is that Manchester City have taken a grip, possibly an unshakable grip, against Watford in this FA Cup final. This potentially treble clinching FA Cup final. 2-0.
It's inevitable that this is going to happen when you give good players. It's Silva. He's not trying to pick anybody out at all, so he's put it into an area where he hopes Gabriel Jesus will get to. He splits the defence with one pass. Goes over to the right side. Gomez doesn't get there. Jesus keeps it alive. It is going in, but Sterling makes sure. This was always going to happen if you sit back and allow great players to play around you.
I've got to say that Bernardo Silva ball, he made it look easy. What an unbelievable pass that is. Gomez for me, I don't know where he's going. If he stands up, he probably picks it up. He's committed himself, which gives Jesus the option to push it past him. I think it's just crossed the lane, I believe. I would think, yes, he's got to go, Jesus. But I've got to say, Watford, I know they played Wolves and they were like this first half. They came out a different team, but they're all over the shop, Watford.
2-0, and now Manchester City come again. They're looking for a third before half-time. Sterling now to Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez, Watford backpedaling. Mahrez beats Holebas, right foot shot. Gomez is able to go down and make the save, pushing it away to his left.
I feel sorry for Holebas, because if he doesn't get Mahrez run up, he's got Bernardo Silva, so he needs help. He's had no protection from Pereira in front of him. Brilliant skill by Mahrez. Drags it back onto his right. It's a comfortable save for Gomez.
Yeah, all game he's had help, but on that occasion it was one-on-one.
City take the corner shot from the right-hand side this time. Now they really are going for it. Another goal now before half-time. Surely it's over. David Silva pulls it across, takes a deflection, only half cleared away by Doucouré, but he's been able to find Deulofeu, and Deulofeu, who was being shoved, and wins the free kick halfway inside his own half. So it is 2-0 to Manchester City here. Gabriel Jesus, it seemed, is confirmed as the scorer of the second goal. The ball was over the line before Sterling got there. So Gabriel Jesus has justified his selection with a goal in the cup final to follow on from his goal in the semi-final. And Lyon are now winning 4-0 against Barcelona in the Women's Champions League final. Ada Hegerberg, the Ballon d'Or winner, has now scored a hat-trick. So Watford with 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes to play to half-time. They were 2-0 down in the semi-final, remember. Doucouré back to Deeney. The ball bounces though off Company and through to Ederson. I
think if there's instruction from the manager to go into a 4-5-1, then your one up top cannot be Deulofeu. It's a pointless exercise. It has to be Troy Deeney, otherwise the ball's going to come back time and time again. Wave after wave of attacks going to happen against you. So just switch them over. It hasn't happened. That's why City kept the foot on the gas and the pressure on Watford.
Dion Dublin and Chris Waddle with us, BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service. And if you're on your way home, it's on BBC One, live on BBC One. Guy Mowbray and Jermaine Genius with the commentary. But you can, via the red button, continue to listen to our commentary. And if you are, we'll hear Zinchenko crossing from the left-hand side, which is headed away at the back post. And now Doucouré and Gundogan arrive at the ball at the same time. It bounces for City. Mahrez here on the right. Mahrez turns in field, gives it to Gundogan. Now back to David Silva. So David Silva and Gabriel Jesus scoring the 2 goals for Manchester City. Gabriel Jesus, who's now reached 20 for the season for Manchester City. The first time he's reached that milestone in a Manchester City shirt during the course of a season. Comes back to Company in the centre circle. The Manchester City supporters to our left. Each team has got just over 29,000 tickets, the supporters of those teams, and they're in good heart here, thinking that they will be witnessing a great piece of history for their club. Company through towards the edge of the area. Gabriel Jesus holds off Capoue. Now Walker. Bernardo Silva on the right. Bernardo Silva, whose ball led to that second goal. Back it goes to the centre circle. Laporte. David Silva now flights a pass down the left-hand side. First time ball across from Zinchenko, cleared away by Mariappa. Kiko Femenia missed his kick clear, and he's a little fortunate that he bounced for him in between Bernardo Silva and Zinchenko. It's cleared away by Watford, but that gives possession back to Manchester City. Doucouré couldn't reach it. Gundogan has it back. And Manchester City, this is relentless from them.
I've got to say, tactics are a part of the game. And listen, Man City are an unbelievable side. I know that, but surely you've got to show a bit more ambition in the cup final. They've sat back on the 18-yard line. They've got nobody up front. They can't get out. Why do play? If you're going to play, you may as well have played Andre Gray high up on his shoulder, because he can run. But what is the tactic? I don't get the tactics what Watford are trying to play here. I don't see anything. Basically, it's saying to City, have the ball, do what you want with it.
So it is 2-0 to Manchester City, and Gundogan has the ball here, just rolls a pass out to Mahrez on the right-hand side. And Bernardo Silva back towards Company near the centre circle itself. City working through the middle. Gundogan has 2 challenges on him. As he tried to slip it through to Bernardo Silva, it ran away from him, and Holebas is able to turn and clear towards the halfway line. Yeah, that Pereira miss early in the match looks extremely costly now. And Watford will talk about whether they should have had a penalty or not. It's a little bit like the 84 Cup final, in that Watford had a really good chance against Everton, didn't take it, and eventually lost the match 2-0.
They'll look at it. They'll look at that. That's and the one-on-one with Ederson as well, from Pereira. But it's the slight changes that Pep's done now. He's now got Sterling coming further into the pitch, and Bernardo Silva's playing a bit more.
Hang on a moment. Here is Deeney. Deeney in the penalty area. Back to Hughes. He hits the shot. That's blocked. Comes out to the edge of the box, where Kiko Femenia strikes it goalwards. They're claiming that it took a deflection. Referee Friend says yes, it did, which took it wide of goal. And Watford have their first corner. Well, a chance from a set piece. 1 minute of added time, and also a bit of respite.
Good time to score. Big side. All on the delivery, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's City zonal. Big side, Watford.
Holebas has taken the ball out to the far side. He's been the assister-in-chief, Holebas, for Watford this season. In the Premier League, only the Liverpool fullbacks have created more goals. So Holebas, left-footed, from the far side. Here it is, deep onto the goal line. Ederson came for it, but managed to get something on it under pressure. Here's Deulofeu, though, into the penalty area. But 2 Manchester City men were on him, and it was... they got enough on it to deflect it away out of the penalty area. Capoue, Watford, in the minute of added time at the end of the first half. Here at Wembley Stadium, Hughes to the right-hand side. Holebas is still over there. His cross, though, is blocked. And Sterling has managed to work it away to Kyle Walker. And Walker's over the halfway line, but just delayed the ball to Sterling, who says to Walker, why didn't you just give it to me? And it ran away through to Gomez after the tackle came in. But there's the half-time whistle. And the Manchester City supporters, in the end, to our left, are all on their feet, applauding their team off. What a season it's been for City. It's their 61st match this. Long into the season, they thought they might get the quadruple, but there's absolutely no let-up for them here as they go for the treble, because at half-time they are winning by 2-0.
I know tactics play a big part, Dion and Chris, but there is such a contrast in how the City players react when a Watford player has the ball compared to how a Watford player reacts when City have the ball.
Well, it's called legwork, isn't it? And I'm not saying physical Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, David Silva, are they physical players? We should say no. So all you're doing is running close somebody down. Make him pass it, make him get rid of it. If you can intercept it, take it off him, brilliant. Watford game plan, I've got to say, I don't know what the coaches thought. He thought we sit deep and catch them on the break. How can you catch someone in the break when you've got nobody up front? And they've had that one glorious opportunity which they should have scored at this level of football. Apart from that, if you were a Watford fan, you'd be really, really disappointed. For a cup final against the best team in England, you're sitting back and saying, do what you want. You can't say that to a good team. Now, if they're playing a team around their league position, you'd say, we'll be all right. You can't let Man City get over the halfway line and do what they want. So whatever he's told them, it's completely got it wrong.
There's no way that Watford can win this game playing in that formation or that way. You can't allow world-class players like David Silva, Bernardo Silva to have the ball. They will find a way in. They will find a weakness within your side. Troy Deeney's now playing in a 5 across the midfield, and Deulofeu is playing up top. He's not going to be able to hold it up. They've got to get it right. They've got to change what they're doing.
But it could have been different, because if you're set up to just try and hit them on the break, Watford had the first chance. It should have been 1-0 up.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying, but you can't give Mahrez, Bernardo Silva on this right inside, who's drifting into that inside right position. You can't give them 2 quality players, and they are quality, top quality players, to get the ball, to bring it down, to start running at you into the box at this level of football. I wouldn't even allow that on a Sunday morning. So how can Watford's game plan think, well, yeah, just let Mahrez have it, let him do what he wants with it, Bernardo Silva let him do what he wants with it, you've got to work and close people down. They just mark space, Watford.
You know, the frustrating thing is, having watched Watford a lot this season, is they are a decent side, Watford, and they can play, but they have to play their way. What they're doing today is they're not playing their way. They're playing in a way that they're hoping is going to beat City, and it's just going to happen. They've taken everything they do well away from this performance in the first half.
And actually, City's first goal was it was as much Watford's fault as brilliant for City. Bernardo Silva robbed Doucouré in midfield, I think. David Silva won a header in the box. Raheem Sterling won a header in the box before David Silva finished it. So, Watford have only got themselves to blame for that goal.
Doucouré got caught in possession. Give him credit after that. He did the same dribble and got out with it about 5 minutes later. But he got caught in possession and bang, it's in the back of the net. And yes, David Silva slight deflection. But I look at Watford. For me, if he's going to play this system, you play Andre Gray, high as you like, and if you want to play Troy Deeney off him, fine. I can understand that. But you can't get out. You've got to think, well, if we can contain them and we intercept it, we'll break on them. How do you break out when there's nobody to break out to? I just don't understand what I've been watching. It's been watching like Saint City on a training ground. See if you can break this 6, 8, 10 players behind the ball. See if you can break them down and score a goal. That's what it looks like.
It's like forwards against defence.
That's what it is.
That we used to do.
That is all it is.
Back in the day. But the end of the last 5 minutes of the first half has literally looked like the end of the game. It's felt like the end of the game. Like they've done their job. And, what else we've got to do? It's easy.
And in the Champions League, that would have been a penalty, wouldn't it?
It would have been, yeah.
With VAR, definitely.
It probably would have been.
I think it would have been, yeah.
Yeah, it was a difficult one for the referee to see, to be fair, because it hit Kompany's elbow. The elbow's tucked in very close to the chest and the tummy. He's turned his back as well, sort of half, and the referee, I don't think, has had a chance to see it clearly.
I don't think that... if Watford come out and play the same system again, then it'll be 4-5.
You're right. When we said it in commentary, if that was the UEFA Cup competition or UEFA, it would have been. But we're going to see a difference when VAR is introduced next season to the Premier League, because if that was a Champions League or a Europa League match, the referee would have come to the side of the pitch and viewed it, I'm sure, as has been the case this season. The Premier League are reluctant for referees to do that. They want to have a high threshold of referees not doing that. But if you apply the laws of the game, was it deliberate handball? No.
There'd be a lot of fans who think they should have a high threshold of referees as well as a high threshold of what referees use VAR for. And Rick says referees have such a big impact. Watford denied a penalty. He says stonewall penalty, then City minutes later fluked the lead. Joe's second goal is proof it was a mistake, putting Gomez in goal, no space for sentiment in a cup final. Stephen, for all City's obvious qualities, that is a terrible first goal for Watford to concede. And Harry, on a positive for Watford, let's not forget Watford, we were 2-0 down in the semi-final. Johnny Blaine, who I often refer to as Johnny Statman, who's often done a lot of work for us, the last 3 teams, he's just tweeted, to score twice in the first half of the FA Cup final went on to lose. Hull against Arsenal in 2014, West Ham against Liverpool in 2006, and Tottenham against Coventry in 1987.
Well, that's just about to be broken.
There you go. There's me trying to offer, if Watford fans are listening, trying to offer them a little bit of hope.
Grasping at straw. If they play like that, it'll be 4-5-0, by the way, not 2 or 3-2 to Watford. I just can't see the game plan. I don't understand what they're trying to do.
That's the problem with me sometimes on 5 Live Sport. My sunny disposition is always ruined by the cynics on the commentary team. In the Scottish Premiership today, Dundee 2, St Mirren 3, Hamilton 2, St Johnstone 0, Motherwell 3, Livingston 2. It means Hamilton survive in the Premiership, St Mirren go into the relegation playoff, and will play Dundee United in that playoff. By the way, the Women's Champions League final is over. If you think it's a task for Watford, the latest in that game, Lyon 4, Barcelona 0 at half-time. You would suggest that it is Lyon's Women's Champions League. The second half from Wembley on the way. Manchester City 2, Watford 0. Here's the BBC News.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
5 Live News headlines. I'm Helen Place.
Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has thanked voters for re-electing his centre-right coalition in a shock result at the federal polls. Opposition Labour Party leader Bill Shorten says he's resigning after accepting defeat. A woman's been arrested after a large moorland fire in West Yorkshire. Police were called to Ilkley Moor this morning after people reported a woman acting suspiciously near the fire. There are calls for the government to add a public vote to the Brexit plan MPs will vote on next month. Shadow Brexit Secretary Sir Keir Starmer says it could help break the Brexit deadlock after talks between his party and ministers collapsed. The Duke of Cambridge is urging people to put aside the British stiff upper lip and talk about their emotions. In a BBC documentary, Prince William talks to footballers including Peter Crouch and Danny Rose about mental health. And there's been another royal wedding. The Queen, Prince Philip and Prince Harry were among the guests at the wedding of Lady Gabriella Windsor and Thomas Kingston at Windsor Castle. Prince William didn't go as he's at the FA Cup final.
Sunday night on BBC One.
Remember that sense of hopelessness. It's almost forbidden to cry.
We've got to relax a little bit and be able to talk about our emotions because we're not robots. He does a great robot.
A royal team talk. The Duke of Cambridge, Gareth Southgate, Peter Crouch, Thierry Henry, Danny Rose and Jermaine Genus join Dan Walker for an extraordinary and revealing conversation about men's mental health. A royal team talk. Sunday night at 10:30 on BBC One. This is 5 Live Sport, the FA Cup final, live from Wembley with Mark Chapman.
Manchester City 2 to the good against Watford, the second half on the way. Elsewhere, Johanna Konta has beaten Kiki Bertens to reach tomorrow's final at the Italian Open. It's the final afternoon of the regular Premiership Rugby Union season. Jenna Hawkey can round up what's been happening.
Yeah, the big issue today is who gets that final playoff place. Saints went into the day fourth, 1 point above Quins in fifth. Here at Sandy Park, Saints are trailing by 40 points to 21. Meanwhile, over at the Rico, it's currently Wasps 27, Harlequins 25. So as it stands, it looks like Saints will still finish fourth. Elsewhere, Sale, they are leading Gloucester by 46 points to 41. So they'll move up into sixth and into the European qualification places, while Worcester Warriors have beaten Saracens by 31 points to 29.
Elsewhere, Leinster beat Munster 24-9. They'll now play Glasgow in the Pro 14 final next Saturday. That's at Celtic Park. Results from Super League today. Big win for London, who beat Wakefield 42-34. Hull won at Warrington 19 points to 12. And playing in the Camp Nou certainly suited the Catalan Dragons. They beat Wigan 33-16. Let's go to the PGA Championship in New York. One man dominating it, and that's Brooks Koepka, Ian Carter.
Absolutely, Mark. Rounds of 63 and 65, a record-breaking 128 blows over the first 2 days. 2 shots better than anyone's ever done at a major championship. So at 12 under par, 7 shots clear of Jordan Spieth and Adam Scott. Koepka out at 2:50 local time, which is obviously coming up to 5 to 7 your time tonight, 10 to 7 your time tonight. That's when Koepka will be teeing off. As for Rory McIlroy, he's already out on the course amongst the back markers. He's 1 under par for the 15 holes that he's played so far, 2 over par. It's another major that's going to escape him. He is currently in a share of 43rd place.
Coverage on 5 Live Sports Extra from 9:30. There's live boxing on 5 Live tonight. Billy Joe Saunders fight for the WBO middleweight world title. He's taking on the German Serbian Shefat Isufi. Correspondent Mike Costello will be ringside. What are we expecting tonight then?
Well, Mark, for all his problems outside the ring, he's been one of Britain's very best for the last decade or so, Billy Joe Saunders. But there is a sense of him starting afresh tonight, but it should be straightforward on all known form. He's described himself, and this is his word, as an idiot in the build-up to this fight in relation to some of the events of the past year outside the ring, including his part in a tawdry video posted on social media for which he was fined £100,000 by the British Boxing Board of Control. But he's been given another chance. He's 29, attempting tonight to become Britain's latest two-weight world champion. He was stripped of his middleweight title because of a drugs test last year, hotly disputed. Now up half a stone to super middleweight, where Britain has such a rich history with Ben and Eubank and Calzaghe, Frotz, Groves, De Gale, all winning world titles in the past. And against Shefat Isufi, who was born in Serbia but considers himself a passionate Albanian, it should be all about Billy Joe Saunders tonight.
So are we saying it's the start of a journey again for Billy Joe Saunders, a stepping stone?
He's used the road to redemption as the phrase ahead of tonight's fight, and this would be a second world title for him. He's plenty talented enough to win tonight, but there are potentially much bigger names, much bigger fights out there. Close to home in the super middleweight division, another of the world titles is held by the Liverpudlian Callum Smith. That would be a huge fight. In the middleweight division, if he says to come back down, there's Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. All of those fights potentially life-changing in terms of money and reputation-changing in terms of legacy.
Thank you very much, Mike. So Mike will have the boxing on 5 Live Sport later this evening. Both teams starting to congregate in the tunnel, waiting to come back out here at Wembley. Dion, Dublin, would you expect Watford to make changes straight away or wait?
I'm hoping that they're going to be positive, whatever the changes are. I'm hoping that we will see maybe Success or Andre Gray alongside Troy Deeney, giving him a bit of help. He's having to come deep and he's not really effective when he's deep because he's not a midfield player. So I believe they'll have to go 2 up top, make the game as ugly as possible, which is what I was expecting them to do in the first place. They haven't done it as yet. Make those changes, get it forward, get the knockdowns.
Chris, Manchester City don't have to change anything, do they, really?
No, it's just a matter of time now. We will put probably De Bruyne or Aguero on, where what Sane, they've got that many talented players, and aim to just say do the same again. Listen, just keep getting that ball out of Mahrez, who's the out ball. Bernardo Silva's just inside of him. They're getting so much joy down that right hand side. Just keep feeding them, and there's more goals for them.
Both teams back out. Kevin Friend has come back out with the match ball as well. An awful lot of work for Watford to do. If they can get themselves back into this, it'll be one of the great comebacks. Ian Dennis.
Well, we were just talking about when these two sides were met at Vicarage Road in December. Manchester City were leading 2-0. Watford then got a late goal through Decore. And after the game, Pep Guardiola said, it's never over at 2-0. So the next goal is going to be crucial because Watford do need to produce something special. They're still standing, but only just. They need a rocket man, Dion Dublin.
Oh, that's very, very good, that, Mr. Dennis. Well done. Love it. No, I can't see any other outcome if Watford continue to play in the same way. If they change their body language and the way that they can play, then they've got every chance of getting back in this game without a doubt.
Somebody wants to tell them Saturday night's all right for fighting, never mind anything else.
Well, when Elton John is in concert later on in Copenhagen, he might not be singing. I guess that's why they call it the Blues, because at the minute it's the Sky Blue of Manchester City who lead by 2-0. Neither side has made a change at half-time. Still a lot of empty red seats as the supporters are making their way back to their position after the half-time interval. Run through the two teams for you in a moment, but Manchester City on course for a domestic treble in their sky blue shirts and white shorts, playing from right to left as we look, and every outfield player is in the Watford half as Kyle Walker then will play that ball forward, and it's stopped over on the far side by Holebas, the Watford left back. Watford in their yellow and black striped shirts, black shorts, therefore playing from left to right. They're attacking the end where the Watford supporters are housed. They are attacking the end where Dale Ofeo, with 11 minutes remaining of the semi-final, produced a wonder goal and sparks a dramatic comeback. And Watford certainly need to produce something more of the same now, as Deeney then plays the ball forward into the penalty area, comes almost to Hughes, almost came back to Deeney, but Manchester City will bring the ball away. But it's one back. The Watford side, by the way, Gomez is in goal, Kiko Femenia, Cathcart, Mariappa and Holebas the defence, a midfield of Capoue, Decore and Hughes, Pereira, Deeney and Dale Ofeo. Here is Hughes, the former Derby player. He's tasted disappointment at Wembley before in the playoffs when Derby lost to Queen's Park Rangers a few years ago. Nothing materialises from that attack. Nice drop of the shoulder by Sterling. And Sterling is away for Manchester City. He's already over the halfway line. He finds Jesus. Jesus now comes forward into the penalty area. Jesus still going, drives it at the legs of Gomez and goes behind for a corner kick.
Good score. Does everything right. Sterling, great little turn. Shows his pace. I'm pleased Watford's had a go from the start. They've actually played high, pressed them. But Jesus, when he gets in, there's a lovely little bit of skill in the box, doesn't he? Gets it on his left foot, but he just blasts it. A little bit more composure. He can do what he wants with it. He's just hit it straight at Gomez.
That could have been all over for Watford, Dion, if that goal goes in.
Yeah, I think if it's 3, then there's no way back for sure. But City will just keep pushing the foot down on the gas, keep coming forward.
Corner kick then to Manchester City. It's played out to Zinchenko, who rolls it forward, then plays it in, left foot in, and the stooping header, but the flag is up on that far side, and it will not count, and the Jesus header is disallowed, and it is still 2-0 to Manchester City.
That's kind of frightening. That I don't know how close this offside is. We're looking at the replay right now. It's swung in, or there's 2 players offside.
Yeah.
Not quite. Is that Jesus on the far post?
Miles off. 2
yards.
About
2 yards offside. He puts it in the back of the net, but it's really difficult to see if you defend like that how you can get back into a game. It wasn't really a hard ball to defend either.
Well, he's already got 1 goal to take his tally to 4 in the FA Cup this season. As the ball is won by Kiko, he then chases after it, gets there before Laporte on this near side, the right. Need to show a little bit more ambition. Nice little back heel, plays the ball to Deulofeu. Deulofeu rolls it in low, cleared inside the 6-yard area by Vincent Kompany. Jesus, by the way, who's making his 100th appearance for Manchester City today, along with Edison and Kyle Walker, fellow Centurions for Manchester City. And John talked about Edison, 4 clean sheets in his last 5. He's kept 47 clean sheets in his previous 99. Watford, though, are on the attack. Pereira pulls the ball back from the inside right channel of the penalty area. Nobody there to meet it on the edge of the area. Watford try and win the ball. Holebas, Hughes, tangling for that ball on the edge of the centre circle. Cleared forward by Bernardo Silva. But Dion Dublin, Watford have come up fired up for this second half.
Better, much better. Getting players forward. I'm hoping this is what they're going to do for the rest of this game.
Watford on the attack. Kompany steps forward, stops the attack. Ball now with Gundogan. Plays the ball out towards that far side, and now it's with Mahrez over on that right-hand side for Manchester City. Midway through the Watford half, and then the challenge from Holebas, and Mahrez drops to the floor, and will be a free kick, which they cannot take quickly because Holebas has stayed down.
I think Mahrez caught him with his hand as he goes over. It's an accident. He's just trying to push him off. He's caught him in the face slightly. He should be all right. But this is what you want to see from Watford. Have a go. Listen, if you're going to concede into that too, that's the way it works. But go and have a go.
Holebas is back to his feet as the play will resume very, very soon. It's just taken short, the free kick for Manchester City, and now it's with Laporte inside the centre circle, and Kyle Walker now collects the ball and passes the ball out towards that right touch line, and Mahrez now will run forward, and Mahrez to the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side. Bernardo Silva, David Silva, excellent football by Manchester City, and then the ball from Gundogan has just gone astray. And once again, the curse of the commentator strikes, Dion.
Yeah, it's just, it's Pereira and Deulofeu and Hughes being in and around. I'm not saying be on Troy Deeney's toes, but be in and around him just in case anything falls your way. You've got to give yourself a chance in this game, so therefore you have to take some gambles and get further up the pitch.
Unwavering support from those in yellow and black away to our right. The Watford fans have made that short journey just down the M1 as Pereira will rue that missed early opportunity, although, as we said in commentary, credit to Edison for his anticipation to quickly come off his line. Hughes looks to try and roll away from David Silva. It's a free kick to Watford that Sterling prevents Watford from taking quickly midway through their own half, and then they do. And Kiko the right back to Cathcart. And now with Mariappa. Mariappa will strike the ball long downfield. Deeney tries to get on the end of that. No foul, says referee Kevin Friend. Deulofeu picks up the ball. Deulofeu now will run forward, goes past a couple of Manchester City players, finds Pereira. Pereira back towards Deulofeu, who was looking to try and turn before he was really in full control of the ball inside the penalty area, and the move breaks down.
Much better. Listen, a bit of tempo about them, having a go. They've relaxed, they've thought we've got nothing to lose. A bit like the Wolves game.
Well, it was, because up until that goal from Deulofeu, there was no way back for Watford, as it seemed in that semi-final. But they have played with a little bit more vigour in this second half.
Yeah, they have, and just, in the last 15 seconds, the attack, it broke down, but they stayed forward. They squeezed. Pereira got the ball, took the ball off Kyle Walker just through sheer strength. But there was players forward that got themselves a free kick, final third, on the left wing, just through hard work and a bit of determination.
The noise is coming from the side who are 2-0 down. The incessant chanting and clapping from the Watford fans. Free kick, far side the left. In it comes now to the penalty area, met by the towering header of Vincent Kompany.
Great header.
But listen to the response from the Watford supporters. With this spell of pressure, something needs to come from it as Manchester City lead by 2-0. But that was what Vincent Kompany brings to this Manchester City side. Leadership, that was always his all day long, with that commanding header. Throw over on the far side, the left for Watford, who trail 2-0. In it comes. Goalkeeper's come. Beaten to it though by his own player. Kyle Walker will head it away. Manchester City had every sky blue shirt back there. Cathcart just inside the Manchester City half. Plays it forward. Chested off by Pereira. Dini. Deulofeu, central position midway through the City half. Rolls it. Kiko joins the attack. They have men in the box. In it comes. Pereira's header. They're appealing for handball once again. Kevin Friend waves away those appeals from Watford.
Well, it's been a slight deflection of anything, but I couldn't see a handball. It was only Troy Deeney appealed.
Ball then played forward. Pereira gets on the ball on the left-hand side, midway through the City half. Deulofeu has dropped deep. He's going to come central to come and get it. Here he is, 10 yards forward of the centre circle. They're playing with spirit, Watford, but they're 2-0 down. But what will keep them going is the support, which, undeterred, backing this Watford team to the hilt. Scoop forward to Corey. Foul on Gundogan. Free kick to Manchester City.
Only in the last 15-20 seconds has it felt like an FA Cup final, because Watford have had a real good go in the opening minutes of the second half, getting players forward, trying to pass out from the back, looking like the Watford that you know. And every time they get a chance, they're putting it in the box, and they've got numbers in the box as well. More of a competition for City, more of a competition.
Let's go to the touchline. Juliet Farrington.
Kevin De Bruyne is about to come on for Riyad Mahrez. De Bruyne has just been warming up for the last 10 minutes or so down the touchline, but he's ready to make his appearance in this FA Cup final. Manchester City's first substitution of the game.
Riyad Mahrez, unused substitute in the League Cup final win, and he's lasted 55 minutes before Kevin De Bruyne comes on. Kevin De Bruyne, who's trained well for the last 10 days. He won the Belgian Cup 10 years ago with Genk. He won the German Cup with Wolfsburg about 4 years ago, and he's looking to try and make his own treble of cup wins, with Manchester City leading by 2-0. As we have 10 minutes played in this second half on BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service, who are also with us here at Wembley Stadium, as the ball runs off the knee of Will Hughes and out of play it goes for a throw, with Manchester City leading 2-0. Chris,
I'm surprised he's brought Mahrez off so early. I thought he's been a great outball for them. He's carried the ball forward. He's used it pretty well most of the game. He's been, but obviously Bernardo Silva's been outstanding on that right-hand side this season, and that's where he's pushed him out to. And we know De Bruyne is a quality player.
The voice of Chris Waddle on 5 Live as Manchester City superbly play the ball out from the back. They beat the press, and Walker then runs forward on the right-hand side. Bernardo Silva had a terrific season, cutting in now, edge of the area, still going centrally, finds now David Silva, who got the first goal. Gundogan rolls it back out to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne with a cross, and Cathcart's outstretched leg diverts the ball behind for a corner kick.
They're still, they're 2 up. De Bruyne comes on, and you've got 30 seconds on the pitch, first thing he thinks is, I've got to put the ball into a dangerous area. Tries to put it into an area, and City have got 4 players trying to get on the end of the ball. Just positive all round.
And you've got to say, Kevin De Bruyne in the Premier League is the best crosser of the ball, without a shadow of a doubt.
Agreed.
Corner kick then to Manchester City, who lead by 2-0. In comes the corner now. It's an outswinger headed on by Laporte and drops wide, well wide in the end. But some achievement for Manchester City. There's been 20 teams in the past who've won 2 out of the 3 domestic trophies, but it's never been done before. And it will be a hell of an achievement.
Marvellous, unbelievable, and we sometimes we just get used to watching City dominating football matches. We don't sometimes appreciate how really good this team is. They are outstanding.
Not only do they churn out the victories, and they have been relentless in the second half of the season as the ball is forward, and it comes early to Deulofeu, snatched at it really. Whether he was surprised that it reached him, but he hit it left-footed and scuffed it well wide of the goal.
Well, that's where you want him, floating around on the shoulder. He's got pace. He's got more pace than the 2 centre-halves of Man City, put it that way. He gets in, he's given them a 2-yard start, he gets in. Where you saw him in the semi-final finish, this time he's miskicked it.
He was onside, but it wasn't a clean connection from Deulofeu as Manchester City lead by 2-0, but they've won 21 of 22 in all competitions. However, Watford, ball played forward by Decore, too far ahead of Deeney. He'll chase after it, he'll put pressure on Company to Edison. Edison's not phased. Look at that inside the 6-yard area. Calmly just rolls the ball out from the back. And now De Bruyne tries to release Bernardo Silva. Flag stays down over on the far side. Manchester City are attacking. In comes the cross from Bernardo Silva and dealt with by the head of Mariappa and then volleyed away downfield. Comes off the head of Decore. Picked up by Gundogan. Gets it back from David Silva and back in cruise control, and Manchester City is then the move breaks down and it runs through towards Aurelio Gomez. Dion Dublin.
It's better from Watford, even though City have had most of the ball. It is better. Decore now is releasing himself slightly. Pereira's playing higher up the pitch when he gets the chance. The centre halves of Watford are saying, get out the way, get up the pitch.
We're approaching the hour mark on BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service, with Manchester City still leading by 2-0. Raheem Sterling, David Silva stands on the ball, and then catches Hughes. That'll be a yellow card for David Silva, if ever there was a tactical foul.
I think that's called a tap tackle in rugby. He was just about to get away and he just took his heels, he just turned, the ball sort of stuck in the grass, and then he sort of tap tackled him. You're going nowhere, Mr. Hughes. Yellow card.
Well, endured his longest spell without a goal, 27 in his City career, 27 games without a goal, but of course he has set Manchester City on their way as they lead by 2-0, as the Watford support are once again up and out of their seats. The yellow flags are flying, urging Watford to try and reduce the arrears. Holebas and Deulofeu leave it for Pereira, takes the free kick into the penalty area. Company's there again, popped up in the air by Deeney. This time it's Gundogan on the penalty spot, who will hook it away downfield for Manchester City. The sky blue of Manchester City, the Premier League champions, the League Cup winners, and now looking to add the FA Cup as the forward. And here is Jesus to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne to seal it, goes round the goalkeeper, and Kevin De Bruyne coolly finds the back of the net. And Manchester City now have the domestic and historic treble in their sights as they lead Watford by 3-0, and Kevin De Bruyne superbly taken 3-0.
That's why Man City are that good. Just sheer work, determination. You got again 2 of the smallest players, Sterling. They're fighting for the ball, jumping in, trying to head it. Jesus trying to head it onto him. It goes to Sterling first. Sterling's vision is outstanding. He rolls it down the left-hand side for Jesus. He's now one-on-one with the keeper, but he's got De Bruyne in the middle of the goal, rolls it over to him. Such selfish play. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't score, comes inside, just taps it in the back of the net.
But
absolutely fantastic.
Even when he's gone on the inside of Gomez, he still has another 2 or 3 touches before finding the back of the net.
He mistouches the second one. I think he miscontrols it slightly. He needs to have another quick touch to get it into his stride. But composure, confidence, class.
Well, we said that the next goal was going to be crucial. The Manchester City supporters, who are now chanting City, City. It's the sky blue flags that are flying. There is a section that's in the central area behind the goal who are now doing the Poznan, because Manchester City know. Now they know that the treble, the domestic treble, is coming their way. And of course, it will be a goal that'll be cheered. Maybe not so loudly in the red half of Manchester, because Manchester United now will not be taking part in the second qualifying round of the Europa League in late July. But it means that they will go into the group stages, and it will be a goal celebrated in Wolverhampton as well, because it's now bound to bring European competition to Molineux for Nuno Espirito Santo and his side after finishing 7th. Manchester City lead Watford 3-0. Surely now no way back for Watford.
As good as City are, as good as the manager is, just their work rate just is so impressive.
This is one special side. Walker worrying for Watford. There's still no let-up. They are ruthless. Sterling to David Silva, making a little run behind him, left-hand side of the penalty area. The work rate, though, as Sterling loses the ball, wins it back. It breaks to David Silva, fires it across the face of goal, and cleared away there by Cathcart, and helped further clear by Doucouré. But it's the hunger as well, isn't it? The desire.
Listen, people say that the easy side of the game's the work rate. Go and get the ball back as quick as you can, and that's his philosophy. And these players do it very, very well. And you know, you just wonder why other teams don't learn from the best. And have they got it in the lockers, or would they be able to play? Man City, can players play the way Pep Guardiola plays? Very difficult. It's about getting the ball back. He has technical players, so when they get it back, they can look after it as they are now. They can dribble, they can score. You know, it's just a fantastic outfit.
I can see activity on the Watford bench. Let's go touchline as the Manchester City supporters now are all doing the Poznan in that end away towards our left-hand side. Juliet Farrington.
Yep, Andre Gray, who's had a strong finish to the domestic season, is one of the substitutions, and Success is going to come on as well. Isaac Success. We're just waiting to see who the 2 Watford players will be, who those 2 players, Gray and Success, will replace.
Manchester City supporters quite rightly are celebrating, leading 3-0 in the FA Cup final here at Wembley Stadium, live on the BBC. If you want to watch it on BBC One, you can do so and listen to the 5 live commentary via the red button. As Zinchenko is going to stretch his winning run this season when he's appeared for Manchester City to 24. As Blue Moon now is being sung by the Manchester City supporters. Terrific atmosphere. The scarves are being held aloft. The sky blue and white, the flags are flying, and Manchester City are looking for further goals. De Bruyne stands still on that right-hand side. Now to Kyle Walker, plays it forward towards Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva, who when he was at Benfica won a domestic treble. He's now going to be winning a domestic treble for Manchester City, as Dale Afeo is going to be one of the players to come off, the hero in the semi-final, unable to add to his heroics. Played a couple of appearances as a substitute when Pep Guardiola was the manager of Barcelona. Andre Gray is going to replace him. Isaac Success, as Juliet told us, the other player to come on, and Roberto Pereira is the player who will make way. He had success, in fact he did the double-double with Juventus, but there will be no further silverware for the Argentine midfielder as Isaac Success comes in. But the success this afternoon is to the Premier League champions Manchester City, and to think they went 35 years without a trophy. They're now on course for their 10th in the last 8 years. Such is their dominance of the English game. 66 minutes played. Company with a little scissor kick. Laporte then will deal with it. And for Pep Guardiola, he will become Manchester City's most successful manager with his 5th trophy. Because coming into today's cup final, he was level with Joe Mercer with his 4 trophies between 1965 and 71. How hard now must it be for these Watford players? Dion Dublin.
Yeah, it'll be difficult, but at this stage of the game, being 3-0 down, it sounds stupid, but it can become easier for you because you've got nothing to lose. You've got to go for it. You've now got 3 centre forwards on the pitch. Andre Gray's gone to stand by Troy Deeney. Isaac Success has gone out to the left. And now what they have to do is what they should have done in the very first opening minutes of the game: get the ball forward and gamble off the flick-ons. Simple as that.
The noise emanating from the end away to our left, where Manchester City supporters hold on. Watford with the attack. Success on the edge of the area, comes off the head of Vincent Kompany. Might well be the final appearance for Vincent Kompany in the sky blue of Manchester City, and looking to add to his tally of trophies. And you think, what, 4 titles? An FA Cup, League Cup as well. I mean, he has been such a fantastic servant for Manchester City.
Oh, unbelievable. But you're looking at the game today, and you've got to say City turned up, Watford haven't. They have not turned up. Watford are far better than what we saw. This could be another one now.
Could be another one. De Bruyne towards Jesus. Jesus in now to the penalty area, and Jesus does roll the ball forward. Manchester City with a 4th goal. It is an emphatic victory at Wembley Stadium to add the FA Cup final to their Premier League title and the League Cup. It is a fantastic achievement, a domestic treble, an unprecedented domestic treble in the men's game. And Jesus finds the back of the net as Manchester City now lead Watford by 4-0.
This game has not been lost with goal 3 or 4. The game has been lost with the formation that Watford have started the game with. Simple as that. They were never in the game. They never gave themselves a chance. They put 3 centre forwards on far too late. Andre Gray should have come on at half time. It's just, they were in the game for 10 minutes. Now they've got no chance.
To take you through to the end of normal time, with Manchester City leading by 4-0, our correspondent John Murray.
I'm smiling at Gabriel Jesus. He was a little bit like Alan Pardew here in the cup final. Just before he took that away, there was a little dance, wasn't there? A little shimmy, a little drop of the shoulders, a little Brazilian samba, and he took it away brilliantly.
Yeah, he did great. You know, one-on-one, there was no doubt in my mind. I seen him. You know, it looked like it took half a minute, but it was like a matter of seconds. But he was so composed.
Well, they've run away with it now, and 2019 might be the year of the footballing comeback. Not today, I don't think, Dion. And here they are looking for another one, looking for a 5th. De Bruyne has taken it away from the halfway line. Oh, Watford are ragged now. Bernardo Silva takes it up, challenge from Mariappa, and then De Bruyne had the chance far side of the penalty area. It was slightly behind him, and he sort of scooped it up on the shot over the bar, Chris.
Well, I get that together, Watford, because I think it's been embarrassing anyway. Don't get us wrong, but it's good. This could be 5, 6 or 7, and if they don't get that together, they're all feeling sorry for themselves. They're all looking at each other. It's called legwork and a bit of pride. But this is what you see from Watford. How we say they're a good side one week, we saw them play unbelievable football for a few weeks. Then they go on a run of performances like this, and that is why they've finished where they do in the league.
Lines are open for 606 for 5 live listeners. 08085 909 693. It's Emma Saunders and Robbie Savage who will be hosting tonight. This is 5 Live and the World Service, and this is becoming quite ugly for Watford. They're losing by 4-0, so that would take us back in terms of the size of a win in an FA Cup final. That takes us back to 2015. Remember when Arsenal outclassed one of your old clubs, Dion, Aston Villa, here. And actually, I think we should probably whisper it at the moment. The record scoreline in an FA Cup final is 6-0. Watford with a free kick. Holebas plays it in. Gray gets a header down. Ederson comes, actually just pushes it away under pressure from Doucouré. But Bernardo Silva was back in there to clear it away. Leroy Sané is going to come on for Manchester City shortly. That'll be Pep Guardiola's second change. And here is Doucouré on the left-hand side. Pulls the ball back across. Hughes took a touch, bounced back to Capoue with his shot, but that was blocked inside the penalty area as well. And rebounds away towards the halfway line. The Manchester City fans inside Wembley Stadium are jubilant. To our left, all of that sky blue over 3 tiers. Over 29,000 Manchester City fans are cheering their team to the rafters. Watford coming forward though. Hughes plays it across, and Doucouré inside the D sends his shot high over the crossbar.
City are 4-0 up. Am I right in saying City are 4-0 up and they're still squeezing, harrying, pressing Watford, making them make mistakes? This time it's Doucouré, edge of the box. He wants to take a clean strike on. Vincent Kompany will not allow it. Dives at his feet, makes him miss-hit the ball, goes over the bar, panics him. But it's just that sheer hard work, that sheer will to win. Brilliant work from these guys. It's good to see, by the way.
Tom Cleverley is about to come on to replace Will Hughes. But Hughes just waiting for that change to be made. Gundogan is actually walking across here, and Gundogan will be replaced by Leroy Sané, but Tom Cleverley trots onto the field. He's missed so much of this season with injury. Actually, he played in the 4-0 for Aston Villa when Arsenal beat them. So a case of deja vu, perhaps. And then Gundogan might have a little problem there. He's got the left side of his shorts pulled up, and Leroy Sané comes on to replace him.
Yeah, that's not a bad change, is it? Sané coming on now, he'll probably have some impact in the closing moments of the game. Another world-class player, in my opinion.
Manchester City leading Watford by 4-0, and they're romping it now as Capoue on the fall did well actually work the ball to the right-hand side where it's swept across from the right, but Biondini in the middle. Andre Gray swinging it low and across, but Biondini and out of play on the far side for a throw.
Nobody's going to catch that. It's a ball. It looks great, but it's nowhere in a million. He's put far too much on it. He's just got to hit the space, let people run onto it. He's fizzed it across so hard. There's nobody going to catch that.
And really for Watford now, probably the end can't come quickly enough. Great performance from Manchester City though. 2 goals in the first half. David Silva and Gabriel Jesus. And they've really gone for the jugular in the second, with Kevin De Bruyne scoring 1 and Gabriel Jesus getting his 2nd goal of the match. So he's on a hat-trick. Hasn't been a hat-trick in an FA Cup final since Stan Mortensen in the Matthews final of 1953.
I think Dion was playing that day, wasn't he?
He might look that way, but he wasn't. Watford with a throw into the penalty area. Kompany heads it out, and then an off-balance Capoue hits a shot that lands closer to the corner flag and in amongst all of those Watford fans to our right.
You look at the positive. You're trying to find positives for Watford, but you've got to be honest. They've been woeful today. They've come up against a real top-class side. Don't get us wrong, but game plan, everything about them today, they've got it wrong.
I think the patience as well. The ball's behind the goal. The Watford fans have got it. Ederson's going to just roll it into his box now, and Jesus is on the edge of Watford's penalty box.
But they're 4-0 down, Dion, in the pressing now. Look,
it's too late. They should have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The game plan's been completely wrong. I don't know what they looked at.
Ederson, however, goes long, clips that ball so cleanly through the middle. Sterling back to Sané. Sané tried to find the pass to Sterling, but it was just cut out as Watford with Cleverley were able to intercept, and then Kiko Femenia played it downfield, but Manchester City are back in possession here, and this suddenly now is a little like the latter stages at Brighton last Sunday afternoon. Manchester City fans in full party mode. City players knocking the ball around inside their own half, and then suddenly, shall we have another attack? Yes, let's go for it. Here they are down the left-hand side. Zinchenko back into De Bruyne, Kevin De Bruyne, then to David Silva. John Stones is going to come on now. They're walking together, Guardiola and Stones, with their arms round one another, as though a little bit like Flanagan and Allen for the older listener. Here, City with the ball on the right-hand side.
Who are they?
Shush. Walker back to Kompany. Now here's Laporte. De Bruyne again. De Bruyne on the walk. Flicks a pass. Sterling intercepts it. No need for that. Sterling. He would love to have a goal, wouldn't he, in the FA Cup final? Raheem Sterling, having scored the clincher in the penalty shootout in the Carabao Cup final. Here, very close to where he grew up. John Stones waiting to come on. He's actually dropped to his knees on the halfway line to do it for his laces again. City just keeping possession. Pass after pass after pass across the surface of the Wembley pitch. They've got Watford beaten here, and well beaten. Bernardo Silva through the middle. De Bruyne has just moved out to the right-hand side. Sterling's there. Bernardo Silva is available. Walker nearer the halfway line. Square from Walker. David Silva. How many passes is this that Manchester City have put together here without the yellow and black of Watford getting a touch? Still they pass. Kompany now to the left-hand side to Zinchenko. Bernardo Silva back into his own half to Laporte. Laporte then over the halfway line again to David Silva. Bernardo Silva back to Kompany. Now Laporte. Is anyone counting?
I've just been on the phone to Guinness Book of Records.
Yes, Walker.
This is what we call keep ball. Just keep hold of the ball, keep moving it. Every time you receive the ball, pass it to one of your teammates, and then find another position. That's exactly what they're doing. Watford aren't sure what to do.
We're in the 78th minute. You feel like they could almost pass the ball to the end of the match. Here's Bernardo Silva again. Still, Manchester City have not lost possession in this period of holding the ball. Laporte to David Silva. David Silva goes for the long pass over the top down the left-hand side. Leroy Sané though steps away, chests it down, flicks it forward, and will flick it through for a goal kick. And after goodness knows scores of Manchester City passes, finally Watford have got the ball back, and they'll make the final change now. Pep Guardiola, and it's going to be the man who got the ball rolling for City, scoring his first goal of 2019, his first goal in 28 appearances in a Manchester City shirt, who is going to be withdrawn. One of the two men who have been at City throughout the course of all of this success, who are on the field, David Silva and Vincent Kompany. And David Silva is given a great ovation. What a great servant he's been. Scorer of the first goal and leaves the pitch at 4-0.
Yes, he's just a great player to watch. He's one of those players that, you know, I like to call, he plays kind of offbeat football. He plays it at his own pace. He's so clever with his football, never looks panicked, and just so important to City.
And John Stones comes on again, as he has done on a number of occasions in recent times, to play in midfield. 4-0 Manchester City lead. BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service. The lines are open for 606 08 085 909 693 to talk to Emma Saunders and Robbie Savage once we've wrapped up things here at Wembley, as Sané wins the ball back from Kiko Firmino, then rugby tackles him, cleverly takes it on, and that's a clear free kick for Manchester City on the left, and a yellow card for Kiko Firmino. Oh, some news is that Raheem Sterling has been confirmed as the scorer of the second goal. So Sterling has got his goal in the FA Cup final at Wembley.
Didn't we see Jesus got it? I thought the ball was over the line.
They've looked clearly at closely at the pictures. So Raheem Sterling has been awarded what was Manchester City's second goal. So David Silva, Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne and Gabriel Jesus are the individual scorers of the 4 goals. Free kick to City. Here's Bernardo Silva, and then Stones gets his first touch of the cup final. 10 minutes to play, and Manchester City, this is going to be a 10-minute stroll to victory, a stroll to the treble. Bernardo Silva, he's not thinking of strolling, he whips the ball apart, across to the far post, and it's in from Sterling. Sterling is there to score what is his second goal of the cup final. He planted it inside the 6-yard box. What a great moment for Manchester City as Sterling makes it 5-0, and he scores a goal really just down the road from where he used to grow up. He used to dream of playing here at Wembley Stadium in matches like this. He scored now in the FA Cup final to clinch the treble for Manchester City. Great story for him and for City. 5-0 against sorry Watford.
That's Bernardo Silva. Just that little They kept the ball. They must have kept the ball 5 minutes ago for 50 passes, looking to try and get in. On this occasion, they caught Watford napping again. Bernardo Silva, bit of pace, bit of a step over, went down the left-hand side, and he just put it in that corridor just in front of Gomez. And who's at the far post? How many times has he done it this season? Sterling to finish it off, a tap-in.
Got to say, Hollerboss, he's full of sleep. He's got to get his body turned. Where is Sterling? Never look at him at all. Watching Bernardo Silva do his little run and step over, change of pace, lovely ball across, but that should have been the full-back's ball. Fell asleep, and give Sterling credit. He's always there. He gambles and he gets the rewards.
So now Manchester City, here is Sterling. Sterling breaking away from the halfway line, up to the edge of the area, into the box, but out comes Gomez and is able to drop onto it and prevent it getting any worse. Yes,
and judging by what we're seeing and the way City are playing and the way that Watford have no answer, there still could be more goals, unfortunately.
Just having a little look here as you're talking, Dion, I'm wondering who were the last team to score 5 goals in the FA Cup final. Still scrolling back. As I say, the record is 6-0. That is the biggest scoreline, and that was way back in 1903 when Bury beat Derby County, as Ederson comes out to the edge of his penalty area and is able to drop onto the ball. But Watford supporters are twirling their yellow and red flags to our right in a sign of defiance as much as anything else, and celebrating the fact that their team got to the FA Cup final, but they've just simply been outclassed.
Man City fans are applauding the Watford fans.
They are, and that is great. That is great to see. They've all joined together here to celebrate what is a great day in football, wherever people are following this around the world. De Bruyne now to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva, Sterling's all on his own on the right-hand side. Sort of feel that Manchester City could do whatever they wanted in the remaining 7 or 8 minutes of this match. Back it comes to Stones. Stones forward to the centre circle, back to Walker, and then Walker now picks out Sterling again on the right flank. Sterling just has a little shuffle inside. He's still going Sterling, and then cleverly comes across with a challenge that is blocked out towards success on the left-hand side. Watford halfway inside their own half, and they go long. Still the Watford flags are flying as the ball is won back by Laporte, and Leroy Sané has it for City inside their own half. And it was Bury who were the last team to score 5 goals in the FA Cup final back in 1903. So Manchester City, right to the end of this season, are looking to break records. De Bruyne now into the edge of the area, and the chance from Bernardo Silva, a crucial leg stretched out, blocked it and sent it high over the top for a corner to City.
They just do things at their own pace. I know the game's won now. The game's been won for a very, very long time, but it's just their will to want to do the right thing, to make the right pass, to keep their standards high. They're not dropping their standards, they're not doing back heels, they're not being flash. They are playing the game in the right way, and the way that their manager wants them to play. Win with dignity and lose with dignity. They very rarely lose.
Dion Dublin and Chris Waddle with us here in the 5 Live commentary box. On 5 Live in the World Service, watching De Bruyne, who's just waiting for the ball, which must have been kept in the crowd behind Gomez's goal, and they actually have to produce another one down here. The 4th official, Graham Scott, has rolled it onto the field.
Some City fans having a souvenir, no doubt about that.
That's not a bad souvenir, is it? The goal that Manchester City scored 5 goals with in the cup final. De Bruyne's ready now. We're into the last 5 minutes. De Bruyne, scorer of one of the goals, takes the corner and outswinger towards the penalty spot, which is headed up and away by Capoue. And now Zinchenko heads it to De Bruyne, who plays it all the way back into the City half to Ederson. Just thinking of De Bruyne when we saw him go down injured in the match, the league match against Tottenham, and he was so angry and upset. You know, you thought in that game that was the end of his season, and actually he said as much that he thought that was the end of his season, yet came to play a part as a substitute in the final league match of the season when the title was clinched, and now has scored in the FA Cup final as his team are on the way to the treble. And City with it inside their own half. And the fact that they are the first team to score 5 goals in the FA Cup final since 1903 means they are the first to score 5 in a Wembley FA Cup final. Bernardo Silva now to the right-hand side. De Bruyne pulls it across. Sterling is there! Saved! Hits the post! Sterling follows up to score! And make it a record-equalling scoreline of 6-0 in the FA Cup final. And not only that, Raheem Sterling, who grew up in Wembley, within sight of the stadium, becomes the first man to score a hat-trick in an FA Cup final since 1953. What an achievement. That is a true fairy story. He has a tattoo of the Wembley arch on his arm, and he's grown up to come here inside the stadium and record an achievement like that. What a brilliant, brilliant story for the young man who's the Football Writers' Footballer of the Year this season, and he has made it. Manchester City 6, Watford 0.
It is incredible that he actually was a loose ball and he got the loose ball for City, started the attack, didn't stop, ran into the box, Kevin De Bruyne down the right-hand side. It was actually a great save from Gomez, but it hit the post and rolled out to Sterling. But he was alive. He wanted to score his 3rd goal. There's no more plaudits I can give City. They are some side.
He probably doesn't know, John, he scored a hat-trick, to be honest. He'll not know probably till the end of the game. So, City are just too good. I've got to say, Watford game planned a lot, woeful, terrible today. The fans have been the best part of Watford. Man City are just what a class outfit they are.
Well, it's a tough day. This is a tough one to take for Watford. Losing 6-0 in the cup final.
It's embarrassing. If you're a Watford player, you will feel embarrassed, and it wouldn't surprise me now that I've just seen a couple of Watford players getting a little bit frustrated now. They've not had the ball for a long time. When they have had the ball, they've given it back to City. This is keep ball at the moment. It's so simple for them.
Still got a couple of minutes plus added time to play here. They could yet record a record score. Gabriel Jesus on the left, back to Leroy Sané. Just as well somebody had a look at that again, by the way, to see if the ball had crossed the line. I hope it doesn't get given back to Gabriel Jesus, incidentally. Although, as you say, he'll be blissfully unaware probably that he has actually scored a hat-trick in the cup final.
I mean, the Watford fans, during the last 2 goals, the Watford fans have kept waving their yellow and red flags, supporting their team.
So 6-0 to round off this extraordinary season. They were on for the quadruple, and that was such a fine line, whether they went through or went out against Tottenham in the Champions League. They went out, but they've gone on here, and they've absolutely steamrolled Watford. De Bruyne into the penalty area, back to Sterling. Sané with a shot, that's blocked. Zinchenko plays it across. Gabriel Jesus holds off the challenge. Bernardo Silva chips it in. Gomez comes and makes the catch. I feel for Gomez as well. Aurelio Gomez at 38, playing his last match.
Game. We said before the game, we'll either blame that or something's going to be horrible. Unfortunately, it's gone the wrong way for him today.
Kevin De Bruyne.
He has been outstanding since he come on, I know. But actually, when you analyse it, since he's come on, he's been absolutely top draw. And a lot of City players have played well, but I don't think he's given the ball away, Kevin De Bruyne, since he's come on.
Yeah, he just seems to make that difference, so much difference on his own, doesn't he? His choice of pass, his choice of run, the weight of the pass in front of your teammate, so they can go and tap it in like Raheem Sterling. Very, very clever footballer. I think I might have wanted to give it to Sterling, I've got to say.
Cleverly for Watford. Chips the ball to the left-hand side. This torment for Watford is almost over. We've already played almost a minute of the 2 of added times. Cleverly shoots, that's blocked on the edge of the penalty area. City had the ball back. Bernardo Silva leaves it to De Bruyne, who strides away for it, gives it to Gabriel Jesus, who turns, plays it into the path of Sterling. Sterling back across for Stones, whose shot is deflected by the legs of Gomez down into the ground and up and over the bar.
Well, how quick was that attack, by the way? They lose the ball on the edge, they have a shot blocked on the edge of the box, and within, 5-6 seconds, it should be 7. I mean, wow, what a result this could have been.
It's a great save, I've got to say.
It's a great save, but Gomez. What a result this could have been.
Stones must have thought, here we go, I'm going to score in the FA Cup final. I've been on for a few minutes. That was his chance. Great save from Gomez. Great save.
John Stones, who's not scored a goal since Nizhny Novgorod.
No.
Yes. Corner from the right for City. De Bruyne to the near post. It's headed away, but it comes out to Sané. They want him to shoot. They want 7. He shoots, and it is wide by 3 or 4 yards.
Didn't look too far away, to be honest with you. Didn't look too far away. Everybody's shouting to him to shoot. They're 6 up. What do you do? Just amazing how you can have so many good players, and you can bring De Bruyne off the bench. You can bring Sané off the bench just to make you even better.
Well, time is almost up here at Wembley Stadium. Kevin Friend looks at the watch on his left wrist as Gomez takes the goal kick, and there is the final whistle. It is a Manchester City treble, the like of which we have never seen before. Teams have been trying to do this since 1961, when the League Cup was first won. All have fallen short. The English domestic treble has been won, and it has been won in the greatest style by Manchester City, with a record equalling scoreline in an FA Cup final of 6-0. And the players, all of the coaching staff now pour forward. There's no over-exuberant celebrations here. Pep Guardiola turns, as he always does, and looks up to the stands for his family. Guardiola now is being surrounded by his staff, and there are hugs and kisses down there. And the Manchester City players, who punched the air when the final whistle went, now go and console their Watford opponents, who were simply beaten out of sight. So the Carabao Cup, the Premier League, and now the FA Cup. A treble for Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. And goals from David Silva, Gabriel Jesus, Kevin De Bruyne. And after he was awarded the goal that looked as though it was over the line before he got there in the first half, an incredible hat-trick for Raheem Sterling. Manchester City 6, Watford 0.
Remarkable. A remarkable performance at the end of a remarkable season, Chris Waddle.
Well, all I can say is, you know what, I bet you wouldn't get much odds on them doing it again next year. They're exceptional. Liverpool's gone along we're close to them all season. You know, they've had an outstanding season, but this side and this squad, and if they add to it, wow. Well, they're just so far. We're talking about Watford before this game today has been dangerous, class outfit on the day. They made them look like a pub team. They've made them look like a pub team.
Let's remember, in the build-up to this game this week, Pep Guardiola said that Wolves and Watford are the two that are the nearest to challenging the top 6.
Well, forget that. No, I don't agree. Wolves possibly, Watford no. Watford are 2 hit and miss. On the day they were a very good side, like a lot of teams are, and I think come the other day the rest of the players...
Well, that was his point. He said they were inconsistent as well.
They're massively inconsistent. I mean, look today. I didn't get a game plan from the kick-off, but if we're talking about Man City, what did you just say? They're just an outstanding football team, and they're probably one of the best we've ever seen. And you look at the squad, yes, they might have replaced David Silva and company, but they will, and they'll just kick on and kick on. They could just win this cup, league, whatever, for the next 5-10 years, the way they're going.
Dion.
I'm just looking at Troy Deeney. I'm watching Troy Deeney. He's gone over to nearly everybody in light blue on the pitch, and he's shook their hand and gave them a hug, and he's, you know, he understands that they've been absolutely hammered, but, you know, the dignity that he's shown in defeat is absolutely brilliant. Very professional. Watford came with hope. Unfortunately, the way they set up didn't give them any hope.
Let's just go down pitch side. Juliet Farrington is down there. Felt like the City celebrations at the end were a little bit understated, maybe, Jules?
I think the City fans, though, have just applauded the fan who got onto the pitch. The stewards have just managed to floor him. He just got onto the pitch and he ran around with his flag, trying to get in on the celebrations. It's now just being escorted away towards the East Stand. You talk about the Watford players. Well, I mean, just look to your right, and the fans and the flags and the yellow and the red still waving, and the players are just now taking it in and applauding those fans who stood through them throughout the game. It was so difficult. It was so difficult sitting behind the Watford squad as well, because they knew they had been soundly beaten, and in the end they just had to accept it. They just had to smile. They have congratulated Manchester City. They have been hugged by both sets of players. I mean, the Manchester City fans can only imagine what the Watford players are going through right now, but they've shown a lot of dignity, a lot of integrity, and it's just kind of been quite a weird, sedated finish to this FA Cup final, probably because in the manner in which Manchester City have won it, which has been absolutely fantastic and excellent, but also an understanding and empathy of what the players from Watford are going through right now as they still stand there. And I think that's Troy Deeney, who's just sat down in the goalmouth area. I think it's him, looking from distance,
yes,
taking his shin pads off. He may be going over to give one of those fans his part of his kit from this FA Cup final day. I'm not too sure, but he did want to say he wanted his team. He was quite relaxed, wasn't he, when I spoke to him earlier on this afternoon? He wanted his team to put in a good performance. They haven't done that, but they have stood by those players, and those players are still taking it in on the edge of that 18-yard box.
Those fans, Chris and Dion, have been absolutely remarkable, because from about 3 or 4-0 down, they all got to their feet and kept waving their flags. They didn't leave.
Big plus for the day, but Watford,
yeah,
let's be honest, the team, nothing you can really say anything about the team. The fans have been outstanding. And you know, when you've beaten the cup finals before and teams are getting beat 2-3-0, a lot of fans disappear and they go out the ground. They've stayed with the team, and you know, another thing with Watford, where do they go from here after this? You know, next season, what do they do? It's going to be a strange one for Watford, strange summer for Watford.
Do you think the manner of the defeat, as in the thumping, could have a big effect on?
Massive. I tell you what, to get beat 6-0 in the world's watching. A few players will think, you know, do I move on? Do the club want to get rid of a few? You never know. Watford have a big turnover of players. It'll be interesting to see what happens at Watford during the summer.
Fiona said, what support from the Watford fans just played out. Say great credit to the club for what they've done this season. Matthew, as a Wolves fan, if I had the option of being annihilated in a major cup final or playing in Europe next season, I know which option I'd have gone for, so thanks very much. Watford, the Manchester City contingent just celebrating in front of their fans at the moment, down to our left. The Watford players getting ready to go up the steps very shortly. Julie, okay, let's get some reaction, shall we? We can hear from the Manchester City captain, Vincent Kompany.
I don't know, it wasn't as easy as the score says it, but what a season, what a tremendous club.
Where does the desire come from? Where does that intensity to keep going game after game in a season like this? Raheem's going to come in and join us as well. Congratulations, Raheem.
It starts with the manager, who set the standard beginning of the season and said that we had to go back to back. And then it's the group, it's a positive group, young players and talented, and of course you need quality, and that's why we did it.
Stay with us for a moment, because I want to bring Raheem Sterling in. Now, are you saying hat-trick today, by the way? Are you saying 2 goals? Did you get that one in the first half?
I don't have a Scooby-Doo. You know, the boys were brilliant today. My goals were just added to the win, you know. Everyone was fantastic. Kevin came on, done an absolute madness, as I can say. So, it's credit to all the boys today. It's fantastic,
Raheem, we spoke to you before this final, and you've spoken a lot, haven't you, about the boy who grew up in the shadow of Wembley, who cycled round this stadium, and the boy who is now an FA Cup winner.
Yes, you know, growing up here, seeing this get built, you know, it's a dream come true to be on this football field and winning trophies. It's a massive dream come true.
Vincent, I'm not going to ask you about your future. What I do want to say is you don't want to leave this group of players, do you?
It's the best team in the world for me, you know, to set such a high standard for such a long period of time. I'm not talking 1 year, I'm talking 2 years running, you know. What a team, what a privilege.
And Raheem, put it in a bit of context for us, because this is the first time in English football history that you have won every single trophy that is available to the team. The League Cup done, the league sorted out last weekend. I suppose you could throw the Community Shield in there as well, and now the FA Cup final. Yeah, for sure. It just shows what the manager's building here. We came in at the start of the season and he said, let's get the mentality right and try to go for the Premier League again, and we've done that this year and we've done it exceptionally well. It's just credit to all the boys to be mentally switched on throughout the whole season. It's been a long season with the World Cup as well, and I'm just happy that everyone's been focusing and on their A game all the way through.
Raheem Sterling and Vincent Kompany, thank you for your text and your tweets. Tom, City have been an unbelievably good side. They've been great to watch this year, but are we seeing the end of competitiveness in English football? I desperately don't want City to become an English Paris Saint-Germain. Andrew, just imagine how good City will be next season when they add a couple of obligatory summer signings and have a fully fit De Bruyne at their disposal. He's been unplayable from the bench this afternoon. And Dion Dublin, there's already that debate swirling around after, yes, you could admire the football that Manchester City played today, but really, if you're not a Manchester City fan, that was a dull cup final, and there is an awful lot of debate about whether England is going down the route of France or Germany or Spain. I know they have two in Real Madrid or Barcelona, and the competitiveness has gone. Is it right to have that debate now?
I don't think our league's going that way. I do believe that teams in and around City are getting better. I mean, it was unfortunate today.
Do you?
No, I do, yeah. Liverpool are getting better. Yeah, Chelsea are winning about it. Liverpool Tottenham are going the right way. I think Arsenal have got a good manager. They're going the right way.
You're going the right way, but you're 30 points behind them. So if there's two teams at the minute you'd say will be running next year, it'll be City and Liverpool. I can't see anybody else getting near them next year.
I think from what we've seen today, Wadler, that's not a true reflection of the league. I don't think. I think Watford getting to the final is quite rare. A team like Watford to get to the final is quite rare. It's normally one of the top six. For Watford to get beat 6, it felt like it was inevitable that they were going to concede goals.
I think, listen, we don't know what Watford turned up. Unfortunately, it was the bad Watford what turned up. They're good or bad, and they were bad today. But give City credit. They're such an exceptional. They're far, far superior. Them and Liverpool, I've got to say, this season have been far, far superior to any team in the league.
The lines are open for 606 08 085 909 693. Emma Saunders alongside Robbie Savage for tonight. John Murray is still watching the desolate Watford players go past his window, ready to go up those steps to pick up their runners-up medals. This must be hard for them.
Yeah, just looking out of the window here to my left, where all of the Watford players are. Javi Gracia, actually, just once he reached our level here, which is the top of the lowest level, and they go up the metal steps to our left, he actually stopped there out of sight of the crowd and just had a few words for the team behind him, and he was clapping his hands, and you can see the desolation on the faces of the Watford players here to our left. I mean, it's almost been like a public humiliation what they've gone through.
That really hurt, Barry. I know they've played an exceptional save. We talk about good City on, rightly so, but
Did it change? Sorry, did it change because they had to go for it in the second half, and therefore that showed what can happen if you do go for it a bit against City?
Well, I think they give the incentive to City in the first place by dropping off. I think I'd like to see Watford go for it for the first 15-20 minutes, or at least even when they cross the halfway line, put some pressure on City. They let City get to the 18-yard box without any pressure. And no, I'm not just saying City. There's about 5 or 6, maybe 10, 11 teams in the Premier League would hurt you if you let them do that.
It was unfortunately, it was inevitable by the way they started. They were going to concede chances. City were going to create the chances, find the gaps. They hit the target once, they hit the target twice, and then that was it, because Watford continued to play the same way. If things aren't working, you have to change something, and they didn't. City, at the moment, are possibly the best I've seen in regards the way they play the game
in this country.
Yeah, in regards the way they play the game.
We're getting ready for the presentation, and Manchester City's lift the FA Cup. Just for those listeners who've been with us all day, Dion, where do those steps lead up to?
The bedrooms.
John Murray.
We've got the City players now. Such a contrast, such a different scene now from the one I witnessed here looking through this glass just 2 or 3 minutes ago. Here's Sergio Aguero just walking past us, didn't even get onto the field. Sergio Aguero still got his multicoloured training top on, and Leroy Sané walks up John Stones, who very nearly got on the score sheet to make it 7-0 right at the end. And all of the Manchester City players waiting for the captain, Vincent Kompany, who's been given a red and black scarf to put round his neck. Remember, this is the season Bernard Halford died, and they brought him up when they won the cup in 2011 with a red and black scarf on to lift the trophy up there, the long-serving secretary of the club. And now they set off on their walk up the steel steps to the top tier, where the Duke of Cambridge, Prince William, the president of the FA, is waiting. The trophy is up there. It has been carried up there by Flight Sergeant Steve Harrington from RAF Honington in Suffolk and placed on its plinth. And all of the Manchester City players are now being handed their medals on the tier above where we sit here by the Duke of Cambridge. Big smiles on their faces. And Vincent Kompany, who's been slapped on the back all the way along the line, he's there now and reaches the presentation party. And very soon he will have yet another trophy placed into his hands. Might be his last act as a Manchester City player. That is still to be decided. What a day again for Manchester City. Won the cup final 6-0. Vincent Kompany's received his medal and he's about to be given the FA Cup trophy. Pep Guardiola watches on from down below. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City breaking records, smashing through barriers, hitting new heights and winning the cup final 6-0 to do the English domestic treble. Vincent Kompany holds it high with that red and black scarf around his neck. He hands it to Kevin De Bruyne to his right. And now it's being passed along the line of sky blue with the silver streamers coming down, the sky blue ribbons on the FA Cup. And in 2019, Manchester City, for their team photograph, they'll have it. They'll have the FA Cup. They'll have the Premier League trophy. They'll have the Carabao Cup. They'll have the Community Shield. We've never seen the like of this before. What an achievement. What a team.